All right, sports fans, it's time for another edition of the Sports Couch, a look at area sports through the eyes of a local athlete, coach, or superfan. The Sports Couch is made possible by People's National Bank, a full-service bank with multiple locations throughout Southern Illinois to serve you. People's National Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. And made possible by Mt Vernon Title Company, your real estate closing professionals. When you need real estate closings, title searches, contract for deed, or any other legal real estate document, depend upon Mt Vernon Title Company. Who will be on the couch this morning? Let's find out. Well, last week during week 8 of the high school football season, the Rams went on the road to Centralia to take on the Orphans in a South 7 Conference game. It will likely be the final time that the Rams and Orphans play each other in high school football. A high-scoring football game, that's for sure, and a big crowd was there for it. Rams got off to a great first-half lead, led 44-20, intermission going into the locker room. Came out second half, and it just went all Orphans' way. And Coach Dan Mings is with us to talk about it. And Coach, usually when you score 44 points in a football game, pretty good chance you're going to win. And it looked pretty good there Friday night at Centralia. But as has happened so many times this year, the Rams just kind of shot themselves in the foot that second half, and you kind of gave the game to Centralia.
And we did. I mean, we had over 400 yards of offense and 44 points in the first half. I mean, it was, statistically speaking, it was the best football game we played here, and I can't remember when. I mean, it was the first half that we needed, and we knew that we had to have that one, to have a chance to get into the playoffs and that type of thing. But for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. And this is sort of the MO right now of Mt Vernon football is, having a lead going into the second half and not finishing football games. And we're trying to figure that out. And I again, and we talked about this a little bit before, it's not necessarily the kids on the field that aren't helping us win. It's the kids walking the hallway that are helping us lose, and that may aggravate some people or make people sad, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't make it less true. We got kids walking the hallway that, either parents won't let them play or they don't want to play or they haven't been exposed to the game of football or whatever, and our kids just get worn out, and it just is what it is, and I'm not saying that's the only reason. I'm sure that coaching, we're listening to the fans in the stands, Friday. I'm pretty sure it was coaching that cost, everything, but a lot of times it's just we don't have enough kids to compete with the people that we're playing.
Well, there's a lot of truth to that because depth goes a long way in high school football. When you got so many guys that are playing two ways, and then you got guys that you're playing that are freshmen and sophomores out there, it's a big difference.
It's an enormous difference, Randy, and we're still trying to fix it and still trying to put the mark on what we want to put here. And we've still had a pretty successful 4-year run up to this point, and but there's we want more. We want more. We have done everything that we came here to do, which was, we didn't want to get running clock. We want to be in every football game we played. We want to make sure that we can make Mt Vernon football respectable, but we had to prepare for us and do those things. And we've done that, but the other side of that is you've got to learn how to finish games. You have to have a little bit of toughness to be able to finish games and do some things that we're not doing yet. Hopefully we'll get to that, and hopefully we'll get to that soon. But right now it just is what it is, and it was heart-wrenching and embarrassing and aggravating, and I know it was for our team, and I know it was for our community and everybody involved with the football program. It was just something that happened, and we got to move on a little bit if we can.
Centralia came from behind, won that game 48-44. So we turn the page now. We go to week 9, and the Rams going to wrap up the regular season here against a powerhouse team who is playoff bound. That's Tolono-Unity, and they've got a huge resume. And they come in here highly touted, and obviously your hands are going to be full, or come this Friday night. But it's a chance to play a team that you don't ever see any other time, and it'll be a unique measuring stick and a unique way to wrap up the regular season, and also a chance to also recognize some seniors that you have as well.
It is, and I'm going to hit on all that stuff in just a second, Randy, but I want to go back to this point. Tolono-Unity has a school population of 478 kids. That's their entire school. They have 122 kids on their football program.
Wow. So
we have a school of 1,250 kids, and we have 50 kids in our program. You explain that to me.
I can't.
I can't. That's why they've been to the playoffs 33 years in a row.
Yeah.
That's why they have state titles under their belt. Yeah. That's why that they are, ranked in the state every year and are the program that they are. So I mean, you can't. It's not that we don't have the kids here. We have the kids here that don't play football. So all right. So getting that over with. I still don't think I'm going to get over that for a while. But it is senior night. And we've got a small senior class, but we've got a productive senior class that we're going to celebrate here. And it's a great thing. A lot of these kids have been with us for 4 years, and they started out with freshmen when I got here, and they've been a big part of what we're doing in the program, and most of the seniors that we have, I think we have 7 seniors that have a higher than a 3.0 GPA. They're and I say 7, like 7 out of 12. Okay. I mean, it's a pretty bright class, and they've done a lot of things for us in the program. As far as Tolono coming in, they've got the number 3 ranked quarterback in the state of Illinois, being recruited by several Division I schools. But they are so fundamentally sound that it allows him just to stand back and do what he wants. To get pressure on him is going to be a chore that we haven't seen this year. They're that good up front. And defensively, it's their line of scrimmage. Defensively, their defensive line, they are pretty much animals, which allows their linebackers to run free and just go make every play that they can make. And it's going to be some tough sledding for us to get our run game going against what they do. Now, the other part of that is this. We have speed that I'm pretty sure they haven't seen. Yep. I mean, they do have some speed up there, that they play, and I know that they do. But as an overall speed type of a thing goes, I'm pretty sure that they haven't seen the overall team speed that we have. So that may play to our advantage at some point during the game. Our kicking game should be pretty solid, but theirs is too. They just don't make errors. They don't hurt themselves. They don't make any kind of physical errors. They don't make penalties, and they don't turn the ball over. So for us to be able to be in this game, we've got to match that intelligence, that football intelligence, and then we've just got to play our guts out.
Yeah, take care of the football, don't turn it over, and cut down on those penalties. Yeah, for sure.
It's the same song and dance we've had all year.
Exactly, it is.
Hey, we don't have penalties and turnovers. Not only are we in games, we're probably sitting here at 7 wins, and life is good, but we're not because we turn the ball over and we have crazy penalties. So, it's a lack of discipline in the program, and that probably starts with me. I guarantee it starts with me, and we just have got to find a way. We got one more chance to have one more chance.
Yeah. This is also the 20-year anniversary of your team from 2005, which arguably the greatest high school football team to come out of Mount Vernon. That 2005 team went 11-0 before they lost in the playoffs, and along the way in the playoffs they knocked off Champaign Central, Normal West, and eventually lost to Normal Community. But I know you got fond memories of that team 20 years ago, and some of those guys I understand are coming back this week, and hopefully for the game Friday night. And it's just cool to reflect back on the program back in 2005. And one of the things that you brought up earlier, you're talking about numbers. I recall those numbers back in 2005, Coach, and you had much bigger numbers on the roster then than you do now.
Yeah, much bigger. And success breeds success. Yep. If we think back, our 2014 was supposed to be the loaded one.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be the gifted, talented team. And, a couple of those guys are coaching for me here and, those types of things. And they went 3-6, and got a little bit too big for their britches and things didn't go their way. And then the next year, the kids made a decision that, hey, we were going to come out, we were going to recruit, we were going to get numbers up, and we were going to work our butts off every day in practice. And it turned into the best team that the school's ever had. And, several All-Staters and, those types of things. And it was something that, I'll never forget. And those guys always come back. We had a couple of practice yesterday. I think we got a couple that are going to show up a little bit later today for practice.
Great.
And we're going to have, 2 or 3 guys have already contacted me and say, Coach, we're going to be in the stands on Friday night. So it's nice when those guys get to come back home and we sort of celebrate them. And, hopefully we get another one before it's all said and done. But that team will always hold sort of an iconic status here in Mount Vernon, and definitely with me, in my memories and stuff that we have as a team. So,
well, they had incredible work ethic, and they held each other accountable.
they did. They had all those things, and they lived in the weight room, and they were football guys. And the other thing is, and give kudos, but they had football parents.
Yes.
That raised them all the way through playing football from JFL all the way through, and they were very supportive and sort of leaders in the community and those types of things. And a lot of things have got to go right to get the right dynamics and, get more people involved in those types of things. And that group was incredibly involved. And you talk, Randy, think back. Our fan club was taking charter buses to our away games.
I remember that.
And they were packed with people.
I remember that.
And then we had convoys and caravans going everywhere that we went. That is possible. That's what these kids deserve, And again, it may be sour grapes, or Coach Mings feeling a little bit sorry for himself right now after the red rear end that I got from last week. But it's there. It's in this community. It's in this town. It's something that we're capable of, and not just once every 20 years. It's something that we're capable of doing a lot. But it takes so much to have a good football program, and it just takes a lot.
It does. I'll never forget the night of the big storm up at Normal West. Got out of there just in time before the storm hit, but man, that was a rough drive home. But seriously, the Ram fans almost outnumbered Normal West that night.
I would think they did. And
it was crazy.
The thing that a lot of people don't get about that particular game that sticks out in my mind is we're out in front of the locker room, and our fan bus, there's 3 of them. They came by because you had to pass the field in the interstate to get off. Right. And the window, I'm like getting emotional. But
on the interstate, they go driving by.
The windows are down. The kids are hanging out the windows, yelling and screaming. Hey, I got goosebumps and tears.
Right. That was great.
There was nothing in coaching that I felt like that. Like that night. And that cold front came through, and the clouds came through, and the rain came, and the 70-mile-an-hour wind, and it was something out of a storybook.
It was,
and those people were ravenous, and it was just the most incredible time for this community.
It was. Well, we'll look forward to seeing some of those guys here Friday night. I want to encourage everybody to come out, support the Rams in Week 9 here, the final regular season game of the year, and again honor the seniors and give support to these Rams as they wrap up the season here. Coach, as always, we appreciate the time you've given us all year long and talking about the Rams and just putting yourself out there and telling it the way it is.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, Randy, I appreciate you so much we've been doing this for a long time.
We have.
And I remember sitting on the couch in your studio before, and now we do it this way. And just I appreciate you doing this for the community and just giving us another outlet to reach out to anybody that is shut in or can't get out or those types of things. But it's just one more thing that I love about this community. It's Mt Vernon. We're on a little island all to ourselves, and the thing you do, I really appreciate it. I want you to know that.
That's all right. I appreciate it. Okay. Well, good luck Friday. Thank you, Coach.
Sir.
Bye-bye.